What if I told you there is a place on Earth that looks like it came from another world? An island where trees look almost unreal, where strange landscapes stretch across the mountains, and where many plants and animals exist nowhere else on the planet. This isn't a fantasy world. It's not a scene from a science fiction movie. It's a real place, hidden in the Arabian Sea. Its name is Socotra. When people first see Socotra, the reaction is usually the same. How can a place like this exist on Earth? The island looks ancient. The landscapes feel unfamiliar. The plants seem like they belong to a different time. But Socotra wasn't created overnight. Its story began millions of years ago, long before humans built civilizations, long before anyone had names for countries or borders. For millions of years, this island remained separated from the rest of the world. And that isolation changed everything. While the planet around it continued to change, Socotra followed its own path. Plants adapted, animals evolved, and life found ways to survive in conditions that would challenge almost any species. Today, scientists consider Socotra one of the most unique ecosystems on Earth. But despite its importance, many people have never even heard of this island. So how did this small piece of land become one of the most unusual places on our planet? To understand that, we have to go back millions of years. If you look at Socotra on a map, it might not seem special at first. It's just a small island surrounded by the waters of the Arabian Sea. But the real story of Socotra isn't about its size. It's about its isolation. The island is located between the Arabian Peninsula and the Horn of Africa. Today, it belongs to Yemen, but its history goes much further back than any modern country. Millions of years ago, geological forces slowly separated Socotra from the mainland. And once that happened, the island began changing in its own unique way. Imagine taking a small piece of land, moving it far away from everything else, and leaving it alone for millions of years. No cities, no roads, no constant arrival of new species from nearby continents, just mountains, ocean, wind, and time. While the rest of the world continued changing, Socotra became its own natural laboratory. Plants that reached the island had to adapt. Animals that survived there had to find new ways to live. There was nowhere else to escape, no easier environment to move into, only survival. Over thousands of generations, small changes began adding up. And eventually, those changes created something extraordinary. Scientists call this endemism. It means a species exists naturally in one specific place and nowhere else on Earth. On Socotra, this is everywhere. More than 1/3 of the island's plant species are found nowhere else. Many reptiles evolved only here. Even some birds became completely unique to the island. Every one of these species tells the same story. Isolation can sometimes do more than separate life from the world. Sometimes, it creates something new. On most continents, life is constantly under pressure. New predators appear, new competitors arrive, the environment changes. Species have to adapt quickly just to survive. But isolated islands work differently, especially a place like Socotra. Here, evolution had something rare: time, millions of years to slowly experiment. The island wasn't easy to live on. Fresh water was limited. Rainfall was unpredictable. Strong winds regularly crossed the landscape. The ground was often dry and rocky. But instead of disappearing, some species adapted. Roots grew deeper into the stone. Leaves changed to reduce water loss. Some plants developed thick trunks that could store water for difficult seasons. Others created wide canopies to protect themselves from the harsh sun. These changes didn't happen quickly. They happened so slowly that no single generation could notice them. But after millions of years, the result was an ecosystem unlike anywhere else on Earth. And among all the strange and unusual life found here, one tree became the symbol of Socotra. a tree that looks almost impossible, a tree that seems like it belongs on another planet. The dragon blood tree. There are many unusual trees around the world, but very few look like they belong to another planet. The dragon blood tree is one of them. When people see it for the first time, the reaction is often the same. How can a tree like this actually exist? Its thick trunk rises from the rocky ground before splitting into dozens of heavy branches. Those branches spread outward, creating a wide umbrella-shaped crown. From above, entire forests of these trees look almost unreal. They don't look like typical forests. They look like giant green umbrellas standing across an ancient landscape. But the strange shape of the dragon blood tree isn't just for appearance. It is a survival strategy. Socotra is not an easy place for plants to live. Rainfall is limited, the sun is intense, and strong winds regularly cross the island. Water is one of the most valuable resources here. Over millions of years, the dragon blood tree developed a unique way to capture and protect every bit of moisture it could find. Its wide canopy creates a large area of shade beneath the tree. This reduces evaporation and helps the ground stay cooler and wetter for longer. Even small plants growing nearby can benefit from this protection. During certain seasons, ocean mist and clouds bring additional moisture to the island. The tree's structure helps collect and use that moisture. Every part of its design has a purpose: the shape of the branches, the size of the canopy, the way it grows. All of it is the result of millions of years of adaptation. But the dragon blood tree has another feature that made it famous around the world. If its bark is damaged, something surprising happens. A deep red resin slowly begins to appear. It looks almost like the tree is bleeding. For ancient travelers visiting Socotra, this must have seemed impossible. Long before scientists understood the reason, stories about these mysterious trees spread across trade routes connecting Arabia, Africa, India, and the Mediterranean. People began calling it the dragon blood tree. The red resin became one of Socotra's most valuable natural resources. For centuries, it was traded and used in dyes, incense, traditional medicine, and artistic materials. Its unusual color inspired countless legends. Some stories claimed it was the blood of a dragon from an ancient battle. Others believed it had extraordinary healing powers. But the real explanation is even more fascinating. The red resin is simply the tree's natural defense system. When the bark is damaged, the resin forms a protective layer that helps defend the tree against insects, fungi, and disease. There is no magic behind it. Only millions of years of evolution creating an incredibly effective solution. But today, even this ancient survivor faces a new problem. Many dragon blood trees on Socotra are hundreds of years old. Some have stood on the island longer than entire human generations. Yet researchers have noticed something concerning. There are not enough young trees replacing the old ones. Several factors are responsible. Longer dry periods make survival difficult for young seedlings. And grazing animals, especially goats, often eat the young shoots before they have time to grow. The result is a forest that looks healthy from a distance, but is slowly becoming older. The ancient trees remain. The forests still look endless. But fewer new trees are growing beneath them. And that creates a warning. Even species that survived millions of years of isolation are not protected from change. If these forests disappear, the loss would be much greater than losing a famous tree. It would mean losing one of Earth's most unique examples of evolution, a living piece of natural history. The dragon blood tree may be the symbol of Socotra, but it is only one part of a much bigger story, because the island itself is just as extraordinary as the life growing on it. Every mountain, every valley, every cliff has been shaped by millions of years of geological change. Rising from the Arabian Sea, Socotra's landscape is dominated by the Haggar Mountains. Some peaks reach more than 1,500 meters above sea level. When moist air from the ocean reaches these mountains, clouds form around the peaks. Those clouds provide much-needed water to parts of the island that would otherwise be extremely dry. In a way, the mountains act like natural water collectors. They create small areas where life can survive in an otherwise harsh environment. Beyond the mountains are huge limestone plateaus. Over thousands of years, rainwater slowly carved this rock into caves, valleys, and deep canyons. Some underground cave systems stretch for kilometers. Inside them, mineral-rich water continues shaping the stone. The changes happen so slowly that a human lifetime is barely enough to notice them. Along the coast, Socotra changes again. White cliffs rise above clear turquoise water. Remote beaches stretch along the shoreline. And beneath the waves, coral reefs support a rich underwater ecosystem. From above, the island looks calm and untouched. But the surrounding ocean has always played an important role. Every year, powerful monsoon winds make travel difficult and sometimes isolate Socotra for months. The same sea that protects the island also separates it from the outside world. And for thousands of years, that distance helped preserve a unique ecosystem unlike anywhere else on Earth. Sometimes the greatest protection nature provides is not a barrier. It is isolation. For all its unusual plants and dramatic landscapes, Socotra has never been an empty island. Long before tourists arrived with cameras and drones, people were already living here. And they learned an important lesson. Surviving on Socotra was never about changing the environment. It was about understanding it. Fresh water has always been limited. The land is difficult to cross. Rain can be unpredictable. And every year, the powerful monsoon winds remind the people of Socotra that nature is always in control. Life here has never been simple, but generation after generation, communities found ways to survive. Families raised animals across the rocky landscapes. They fished the waters around the island. They collected plants and resources that nature provided. Their knowledge did not come from books. It came from experience. Parents taught their children which plants could help treat illnesses, where water could be found during the driest months, when the winds would change, and how to prepare for another difficult season. But one of Socotra's greatest treasures cannot be seen. It can only be heard. The Socotri language. Although Arabic is widely spoken today, many islanders still use Socotra, one of the ancient modern South Arabian languages. For centuries, this language survived mainly through speaking, not writing. Stories, poetry, songs, history. Everything was carried through human memory. Each generation became a connection between the past and the future. The isolation that protected Socotra's plants and animals also protected its culture. The people of the island developed a deep relationship with their environment, not through technology, but through knowledge. Today, Socotra may feel like a forgotten corner of the world, but it was never completely unknown. Its location placed it near some of the oldest trading routes connecting Africa, Arabia, and India. For ancient sailors crossing these waters, Socotra was an important stopping point, a place to rest, a place to resupply, and a source of valuable natural products. Writers from ancient Greece, Rome, Arabia, and India all mentioned the island in different ways. Some described its rare plants. Others wrote about its valuable resources. For merchants, Socotra was known for products that traveled far beyond the island itself. Dragon blood, resin, frankincense, aloe. These materials reached distant markets. Many people who used them would never know where they came from. They only knew that these unusual products had traveled from a mysterious island somewhere in the Arabian Sea. Yet despite its valuable location, Socotra never became a major empire or a crowded trading center. Its harsh landscape, limited resources, and seasonal isolation made large-scale development difficult. But those same challenges helped protect the island. The things that made Socotra difficult for humans also made it easier for nature to survive. Perhaps the greatest lesson of Socotra is simple. The most valuable places on Earth are not always the ones we build. Sometimes they are the ones we protect. In a world where almost every place has been mapped and connected, Socotra reminds us that there are still places we are only beginning to understand. Places where nature tells a story much older than humanity itself. So the next time you see a dragon blood tree standing against the sky, remember what you are looking at. Not a fantasy, not another planet, but one of the oldest living stories on Earth. A story that began millions of years before us, and one that is now our responsibility to protect. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey, subscribe and join us as we explore more of the world's most extraordinary places. See you in the next adventure.